Hello, Susan here. I thought I'd share with you what I've been working on lately. I'm sitting in front of my Union 36 loom, and I've been doing some dyeing. I do a lot of plant dyeing, not because I'm opposed to using acid dyes. I just think it's fun to see what results I can get. So these first two I'm going to show you, and this is my Handpun Churro yarn. This first one was dyed with blue corn from Peru, and they make a drink out of it, but I guess you can also dye with it. As you can see, I didn't get blue here, and this was just the corn that was boiled, and I need to do light fastness tests on these, see if they're going to fade or not. I like the color. It's kind of a purpley brown. So this was the exhaust. So I dyed this skein first, and then I looked like I still had some dye in the pot. And this time I added vinegar to it. And this has a slight violet, reddish violet cast to it, maybe pinkish. But I like the color really well. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of the plant dyes all seem to kind of go together nicely. They're a little more muted. This next one is marigolds, and all I did was just simmer the marigolds and then strain them and put my yarn in there. And I got this really intense kind of safety yellow, but I really like this color. I think it's gonna be fun to weave with. And on this one as well, and this is mostly yellow marigolds, and I had some that were more of a kind of an orangish color, but then I also threw in some goldenrod and a few cosmos. So I hadn't dyed with marigold before, but I'll certainly grow more marigolds next year. This was the exhaust, so after I dyed this, there's still some color, and I actually went out and picked a few more marigolds. It's gonna freeze here sooner or later, and so I'm trying to kind of use up everything that I have. And then this last one I want to show you is both of these were dyed with Freshleaf Indigo, and this one, instead of simmering it, you take the fresh leaves from the indigo plant and whirl them up in the blender, and you want to keep it cold, and then you put your yarn in that. And all of these are mordanted, by the way. I've mordanted all of these with alum. So, and again, I'm not positive about the indigo. I'm going to have to do light fastness tests on those. I'm pretty sure the marigold is going to be really good about being light fast, but maybe while I'm testing those others, I'll test the marigold. Another favorite dye plant of mine is goldenrod, but I had quite a bit of that color, so I didn't really do any goldenrod dyeing. Something else I had been working on was making these mug rugs, and I used a black warp. I don't know. But these were all woven on the Union 36. This orange is dyed with madder, and it gives this really bright orange. This blue is acid dye. It's really hard to get good blues. This blue here is a commercial yarn, so I didn't spin or dye that blue there, but I got a good deal on it. Of course, this dark is the natural color of the wool. This was something out of New Zealand. So I think this yellow is from the goldenrod. So that was kind of a fun project. Now we'll see if I can sell any of these. But it was a good project to kind of practice different patterns and color combinations and weaving techniques, to kind of see what I liked. So the only thing I have to do with these, I think, I usually on my weft-faced weaves, I usually shave them with a sweater shaver. I was going to show you my sweater shaver, but I just knocked it on the floor. and iron them. So I'll probably do that as well. I'm not... These were single warps, and I think if I do these again, I'll double the warp. And it's really a pain to tie these little knots, so I'm not really fond of tying all these little knots, so I don't know. And then what I have on the loom right now is just another weft-faced rug, but a bigger one. So I'm just kind of getting started. And I don't really have anything in particular in mind. I think I'm just going to weave as the mood strikes me and just put whatever colors or patterns I feel like. So that's kind of what's going on here. And this time I have, I'm warped basically 4 ends per inch, but I've doubled the warp, and this is rug warp. I haven't done a big project with cotton rug warp, and I usually use wool, so I don't know if I'm going to be, well, I'll just have to see it and see if I like that or not. And notice that I have a stupid little knot here in my rug warp, and I'm just waiting for that to break apart because they usually do, but maybe I can weave up there and weave past it and won't have to fix a broken warp. I usually don't break warps unless there's a knot in it, and then it's just the abrasion of the reed going back and forth over it. Eventually it wears on it and it breaks. And I usually use a temple when I weave. And I've got some inconsistencies in this one. I'm not real thrilled so far. Kind of goes in and out. So sometimes I'm bad about fixing something, which I probably should fix, and then it annoys me really a lot because I didn't fix it. So sometimes the little things you can ignore, and sometimes you ignore them and then you wish you hadn't. Okay, well, happy fall.